Another principle about relationships is that in any relationship, the level of relationship depends on the lower of the two. Right? The level of relationship depends on the lower of the two. For example, if you have a guy who walks up to a girl and says, I am madly in love with you, let's get married. And the girl says something back to the guy along the lines of, actually, I can't stand you, I want nothing to do with you, I never want to see you again. So the guy could be 100% in love, and the girl is holding totally at zero, right? So where is this relationship at? Obviously, it's at zero. It's not at 50%. It's not a friend relationship because it's not reciprocated, right? The guy could be totally in love, but it's not a loving relationship. Relationship is a two-way street. And therefore, relationship is only as strong as the one who wants it least. In terms of our relationship with the infinite, right, we could say that God has quote-unquote, big fat quote-unquotes there, God has quote-unquote lost control of the situation. What do we mean by that? That God, being the infinite giver, constantly giving us, creating this planet, putting us in this world, giving us the opportunity to have that relationship with Him. God is constantly giving us and giving us and giving us opportunities to have that relationship with Him. The question then comes down to how much do we choose back to God. To the extent we choose back to God, that's the extent the relationship is going to really be there. To the extent not, it just simply won't be there, right? It's not a matter of punishments or anything like this. It's just the pure nature of relationships. People like to talk about, people like to think about heaven and hell and have all these different parables for it. They think heaven is like a treasure chest at the end of a rainbow or a trophy at the end of a basketball season or something. But really, a much better example and parable of heaven or the relationship with God is if you can imagine a 50th wedding anniversary, right? And you have the married couple sitting there looking into each other's eyes, and you could feel the fireworks in the background. And it feels very nice, but can you hear the idea that the love that they're experiencing at the moment of their 50th wedding anniversary party when they look into each other's eyes is nothing more and nothing less than the experience of the sum total of the choices each one made towards the other, minus the missed opportunities and the times they chose against each other, thereby building a conceptual barrier between the two of them in their relationship. And can you hear the idea that the relationship, the experience that they're having is nothing more, nothing less than the sum total of the choices that they made towards the other minus the missed opportunities, right? And this means that it's not two worlds. It's all one world. It's just you are experiencing the reality of your choices. There's nothing more, nothing less, right? For some people, this is going to be heaven. For other people, not as much. But this is the necessity of our free will capability and free will choices. Right? That we have the real free will opportunity to go ahead and build that relationship with the infinite. To the extent we do it, to the extent we match God, to the extent we reciprocate towards God, is to that extent the relationship with the infinite is going to exist. To the extent not, we will be one in terms of the essence of who we are with God. That is unchanging. But in terms of how much we're living that out, how much we're expressing that, how much we're experiencing that, how much that is manifest, so that is totally dependent up to our choices.